My lip literally bleeding. Perfect. Hi everyone. So a few things before I get started in this update video. A few things. One, I think my lip is randomly bleeding. Two, there's no good way to like transition into this, but on Friday morning I had to put my dog down and it was very sad and very sudden. You may have seen him in some of my videos, including my latest video where I do the ancestry kit thing, and it's my dog Dawson. I might talk about it a bit more in a different video because there's a lot going on and I really wanted to like well represent his life and time here and with my family, and I loved him so much. I can't believe he's gone. It doesn't feel real. Especially since I have 2 Siberian Huskies and now I have 1, and I've had them for most of my life. This December, Denver will be 15 years old. I am 25. Well, I'll be 26 in October. But I got him when I was 11, and then Dawson we got a year later. Anyways, I don't want to go into too much detail. Essentially, if you guys are interested and want to talk, I still think I might do it just to like kind of like, you know, ease my mind, but my dog suddenly had a aneurysm, or he had a stroke or a seizure. Essentially, it was in the middle, it was 3:30 in the morning. I heard him like yelping, and then I had to go out and check on him. Anyways, he had some sort of brain dysfunction happening, and it just sort of shut him down completely. And so my mom and her fiance and I, we all took him to the vet, and you know, 4 hours later, 7:30 in the morning, we had to put him down. So that was a really hard decision and really tough time. So just to like get it out of my system and talk more about it, I might just do a secondary video about that. And that was on Friday morning. It is now late Tuesday night. Anyways, so that's update number 2. Update number 3 is I still haven't closed that survey, so if you guys are still interested in doing that survey, all the results are great. I think I'm going to do a video about the survey stuff soon. One of the things is I want to try and do shorter videos, and I want to try and make a designated filming area, which is why I'm just filming on my bed in front of my purple wall, because a lot of people are thinking that it's better just to have less distractions. And so I think I gotta do some stuff to my room or something, but essentially you've seen this wall before, so it's not unnormal. It's not unnormal, is that a word? To see it, so I'm going to be working on that. And then I guess that's the 3rd update. What's the next thing I wanted to say? The 4th update is I still have to, oh yeah, I'm studying again for my investments exam. I failed it the first time, and I think I'm going to have to study really hard for the next couple weeks or a few weeks because I decided to book it for October 13th. I don't know why I'm rushing into it. I really don't have to. I could literally take a whole year and do it, but I don't want to. So if I don't do it, I think I'll just like postpone it more and more. But since putting down my dog, I haven't had time to study or film videos or edit or write articles or material and all. And it's just been a really long week, a really sad and long week. So I've decided that right now, because I'm most active in the middle of the night, so I decided like 10 o'clock at night is the best time for me to film a video. Anyways, so random. So sorry. If you want to be up, oh, I think my lip is still bleeding. Feels like it's just dripping down my face. It's a good Halloween costume, just blood dripping down your face. If you want to keep up to date with me and my life, I post pretty frequently on Instagram story. I had some fun last night on Instagram story. I hadn't posted, obviously, since I had put my dog down, really, so I was pretty kind of tired and kept up in my house, and I was just kind of going crazy. I like to drink real water. I like to drink water out of fake carbonated glasses. But they're real glasses. There's also no water in there. That's far too many tubes of toothpaste for one toothbrush. Also, hi Coca-Cola. Here, do you want some Sprite? Here, it's so good for you! Cheers! No, that wasn't a very good clink. Cheers! What the? Anyways, please go follow me on Instagram. It's Olivia Robbin Rose. There's always links to everything in the description each video below. every single video. But if you want to go follow me on Instagram, I do highly recommend it. If you want to see some sad dog posts or pictures of him or any pictures of my 2 dogs, they're super, super cute. They were super, super cute. But anyways, please go follow me. Anyways, this is an update video from, holy crap, like a month ago? No, it's still September. I saw my urologist in Toronto in September, the beginning of the month. That's usually pretty boring, but this time, boring as in like it's just an update. I tell him what's happening and he kind of says, okay, well, we'll go from here. But this time, because I have like a second online job where I write articles, like I mention that every now and then, for New Life Outlook. I write for 2 other websites and then I do it twice a month. And it's always about overactive bladder. One time, no, it was last month, I was researching overactive bladder medicines, so I ended up learning something kind of new. Most of the time, a lot of it was just from my own memory and knowledge, and then I just do research just to back up what I'm writing. They become more and more in depth, but I was just writing about new overactive bladder medications, and I learned about something new I had actually never tried before, and it's propivarin or something, and it's an anti-cholerogenic, I believe is what it is. And anyways, I haven't tried it before, so when I went to go see my doctor, I had mentioned it to him. I was like, hey, I haven't been on and I didn't even get the word out of my mouth, and he was like, yep, I have some samples. And he like jumped out of his chair and ran over to behind him, and he grabbed me 3 boxes of propivarin, and I suck at taking medication. Like, I legitimately have a skill that I'm awful at, and it is taking pill formed medication, and I am not kidding. I don't know if anyone else suffers from this, but I believe it's a disease. Essentially, I am really bad at even remembering, or not even remembering, just physically going to wherever the medication is and picking it up, popping it out of the case or whatever, and putting it in my mouth and swallowing it. I cannot do that. It's not that I don't want to, it's because I'm just freaking lazy. And now there's another thing I have a problem with, and I think it's still part of this pill disease, is that every time I take a capsule form of medication, not including over-the-counter stuff, but when I take these freaking little pills, I would go grab one, maybe I'll show you later. They're not big, they're just pills, they're just little capsules, they're 2-sided capsules, like they come apart if you were to like play with them or take them apart or whatever. They feel like they get stuck in my throat, and I can't handle that. Every time I swallow it, it irritates the middle of my throat, and it feels like I have like a lump or their pill casing is stuck to my throat, and it is the most irritating thing. I was complaining to Ashley, like I was complaining to my best friend for days because I just felt like there's something in my throat. I'm so lazy in doing it, so I don't ever think to take it with food, which is what I have to do now. I literally cover it in yogurt or cover it in bread or cheese or something, and able to like just swallow, or tuna even, to swallow it down, because then I can't feel it against like the throat. It is so weird. It is so weird, and I think it was like a psychological thing. Because there's nothing in your throat. It's just like literally feels like it's enclosed, and it's just like, and then when you eat or drink something, it's like, ah, but then it goes back to like, so that's my problem. Figured it out, decided to take it with food. I had it with yogurt tonight. 'Twas great. There's 28 pills, I think, in each box, so I have 3 months worth. So I have 2 boxes of 30 milligrams and then 1 box of 45 milligrams. Anyways, he said it'd take like 6 to 8 weeks anyways to show if anything's happening. I see my Ottawa doctor in December. So that's about 3 months, right? So by the time I see him, I should know whether or not that the drug is actually helping. However, this video is specifically more or less about Interstim, because I think it's starting to work. And that is only because I accidentally, just before I saw my doctor in Toronto, I accidentally turned it off for a day, and it was the worst day of my life. Not actually, but it was weird, and I didn't know I turned it off. Obviously, it was an accident, but I didn't know I turned it off because I was kind of like playing around with it before, like the week before going up to see the reprogramming specialist, which was on a different day from my doctor's appointment, which is super annoying. I had accidentally turned it off, and I think that I realized the next day when I was like playing around with it, I was talking to my mom, I was holding like the device in my hand, and I was like, it just feels like all of a sudden it stopped working. And then I went to turn it like to push the buttons, and nothing was changing. And I was like, why is nothing changing? And then I realized that there was, I'll show you, hold on. That was a terrible idea. I am so sorry. Now my wall looks blue. The white auto balancing is off right now. It's not off, it's just weird. So if the wall or my face changes color within the next few minutes, that'll be why, because I moved and it doesn't understand life. So these are the pills I'm taking. So they're not very big, right? Like they're just about as big, a little bit bigger than my nail polish. Nail polish? My nail. Like they're tiny. Like they're tiny. They're small, but they're very small. Like I've seen bigger capsules than this, right? If you're new to the channel, or if you haven't seen or heard me talk about this and you've just skipped all my other videos, this is my Medtronic handheld device for my InterStim implant in the top part of my right buttock. This is the on button. And then when you push this button, it searches for it. Woo! You're falling. Okay, now it's purple again. This is the screen, right? So I was looking up here. I was looking right there. Sorry, I'm gonna move my face. I was looking right there to see if anything was checked off, and nothing was checked off, and I couldn't push either of these two buttons up here to like turn it up or down, because it's like a 2.5 or 2.05. That means nothing. Don't compare that to yours. They're just numbers. Like they're just settings. Everyone's is different if you have an InterStim. It didn't have a check mark in that little box. So I was like, oh my gosh. Because the day before, sorry, I'm not sure if this is leaning. I'm so sorry that the quality of this video. The day before, I think I adjusted it in the morning, and I accidentally must have pushed, I think I pushed on this one the morning of when I was having problems, and then this one turns it on again. So I was talking to my mom. I was like, I don't know why I don't feel like because I technically should have to feel the stimulation all the time. I say all the time that I can never feel it because I constantly get used to it. So I'm constantly trying to update it and turn it up and up and up. I'm not sure if anyone else has that same problem, but I feel like the more I can feel it, obviously, the more it works. So I was running to the bathroom, and I even told, like I was at work, and I even told my boss, I'm like, I am so sorry. I have to go to the bathroom like all the time now. And I was like, I don't even know what's going on. I don't know why. Like sometimes I have good days, sometimes I have bad days, but I was like, this is awful. And I was getting mad. Like I was getting pissed off at myself. I was like, did I do something wrong? Like clearly. But I was like, what is happening to me? Like, why am I going to the bathroom? Like it wasn't normal anymore, because I was like, I thought my normal was like, because it's been like almost 2 years since I had my first InterStim implant, but my normal has changed so slowly. So like I thought that my normal, like I didn't think it was working. Like that's how long. I still don't, I was like, it's kind of working, it's kind of not. Like, even when I saw my doctor, I told him that story. I was like, I didn't know how well it was working until I accidentally turned it off. And that's something that the Medtronic reps tell you frequently. They're like, well, if you can't feel it, turn it off, turn it back on again. Like, it's not gonna like jump or like spike, like change your, like hurt, because it can hurt. It can be painful. The stimulation can hurt. But it's not gonna like hurt you if you accidentally turn it off or turn it off and turn it back on again. Because if you can't feel it, then you can't feel it. So it's just to like let yourself know that it's working. So that means that it does work. I think that my bedtime problems and my daytime problems are so different. So let's say that during the day, the frequency I think has gone down a bit. Like I'm trying to think about how it used to be. Anyways, that day when I was at work and I was angry and pissed off and telling my boss, I'm like, I'm so sorry, like I have to go every like half hour. The frequency has definitely decreased per day, if that's the case. And the urgency is definitely decreased, but there's still, like, I'd say, like, if you were to compare it on a 100% scale, 100% being, like, someone who could hold their bladder for, like, 3-5 hours, I'd say, like, it almost feels like it's 50% better than it was on that day. So, like, that day was pretty bad, and then, obviously, when I turned it back on, I feel like it just increased, like, my symptoms decreased by 50%, which is a success, because technically, that's the success rate is 50% when you have an InterStim. Like I thought like maybe 60 or 70, 80% would be a success rate, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's a success. I feel much better. I'm more confident now with the InterStim. So that's cool. I didn't know it was working until I accidentally turned it off on myself. Like I wanted to make a video about like, I think that my overactive bladder has gotten better, but now I really, it hasn't gotten better. It's just been improved because of InterStim. So that's really cool. Pretty happy about that. The nighttime, oh yeah, that was another thing. So the nighttime problems, I feel like I wet the bed about half as much with InterStim. I mean, I could try and turn it off and see. Like, I feel like the amount that I've wet, because I wear adult diapers, the amount that I feel like I've wet into them is like half as much. So they're half as heavy, is what I'm trying to say. So I think like that's only been the past 2 or 3 months, I'm pretty sure. So that is also pretty cool. So that, I think things are going well with that. I still have the medication to try, and we still want to try Botox in the injections in the bladder for the 3rd time. That's what I'm probably going to do or reschedule when I go see my doctor in December. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. I don't want to keep you forever, but that was, I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. And for those of you who are trying InterStim still and are getting no success with it, I've had it for 2 years, basically. Like this November, it'll be starting year 3. Like, it's been a long time, and I've been so angry about it. And some people, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's had immediate success on the long term even. Like, maybe some success, but not immediate, or not long-term success. But it seems to be a constant struggle. So keep your chin up. I don't know why I said that so angrily. Keep your chin up, you fool. No. Try and be positive about it. I don't think that's much easier. That's much easier said than done. I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Please go follow me on Instagram, that's the word, because I think you'll find me pretty entertaining. I kind of cringe when I say stuff like that because it's weird to say, but I legitimately want you to follow me on Instagram because I think I watch my stories more than most people watch my stories. Like, I think I'm funny. And then I tell my friends, I'm like, have you seen my Instagram story yet? I'm like, go watch it. Go watch it now and tell me what you think. Anyways, that's all. If you haven't done the survey, you might as well just go do it. If you haven't done it, I'm going to close it probably the end of this week. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye! Bye? Peace? Is that what I was trying to say? Peace. Okay, bye.